Alright, solving systems of equations by substitution. We want to make sure that we have one letter solve for itself. So there are four steps. We have solve for the variable, either one, plug in that value into the other equation, and then solve, and then plug that solution into the easiest equation. Alright, so for example, if we wanted to solve negative 7x minus 2y equals negative 13, and x minus 2y equals 11, we look at our four steps, and the variable that's easiest to solve for is the one that doesn't have a coefficient. So the x doesn't have a coefficient. Well, it does. It's 1, but it has no number written in front of it. So we're going to solve for that one. So I'm going to solve for that x. So to get x by itself, I need to get rid of the 2y. So I have a minus 2y, so I add 2y to both sides. Now those are not like terms right here, 2y and 11, so I'm just going to bring them down. So that's x equals 2y plus 11. So I'm done with my first step. I have it solved for x. So I'm going to plug this solution for x back into the other equation. So back into this equation. So I would rewrite that as negative 7. Instead of putting x in, I'm going to use parentheses and put 2y plus 11. And anytime you plug something in, you should probably use parentheses. So minus 2y equals negative 13. So see, all I did was plug that back in for x using parentheses, and I brought everything else down. So now it's distributive property. So negative 7 times 2y is negative 14y. Negative 7 times 11 is negative 77. Bring everything else down. And now we combine our like terms. So negative 14y and minus 2y are negative 16y. And we're solving right now. That's our third step. So we add 77. This is just a two-step equation. That cancels out our 77s. And 77 minus 13 gives us 64. And if I divide by negative 16, I'm going to get a negative 4. Alright, so I've solved. I got y equals negative 4. Now my notes tell me to plug that solution back into the easiest equation. Look back up here. Which one looks easier? Well, this one looks easier because it doesn't have a number in front of the x. So I'm going to plug it into the bottom one, the x minus 2y equals 11. And I'm just going to write that equation down. X minus 2y equals 11. And I'm just plugging in that negative 4 in for this y. So I'm going to rewrite it x minus 2, parentheses, negative 4, equals 11. And negative 2 times negative 4 gives me positive 8. So it's x plus 8 equals 11. To solve for x, I just subtract 8. That cancels my 8's, and x equals 3. And my final answer is an ordered pair. It's the x first and then the y, so it's 3, negative 4.